The very first token that runs on the XRP ledger is about to be listed on a Tier 1 exchange. It's the first to do so other than XRP when it was listed. So in this video, I'm going to go over what that token is, who they're actually getting listed on, and what that could mean for their ecosystem. Also, I'm going to be talking about some of the questions that are now coming up about this Coinbase scandal regarding its insider trading, what the SEC is actually attributing with these securities or these tokens that they're asserting securities, and Coinbase's actions now versus when Ripple was first sued by the SEC, because it gets pretty interesting. Also, there are some very interesting reports coming out about what the crypto community is doing as a whole. Just in the last week, over $300 million of capital has flowed into new blockchain companies. I'm going to tell you who some of the big winners are, what their ecosystems actually do, and what's going on in Asia with all of these crypto startups. Because regardless of what the Bitcoin price is doing or any of the other cryptocurrency price action is doing, that there is a lot of very, very bullish sentiment out there. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, we are covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, but I'm also covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, join the Late Night Grind community, hit that bell notification icon. That way YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. Also, if you do a couple things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button, watch the video to the end, and check out my Patreon. There's a link in the description below. If you do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So globally, if you're involved in blockchain or if you're involved in a fintech company that is involved in the cryptocurrency world, well, you're not exactly alone. Some of the most recent reports that have been coming out are extremely bullish globally, and specifically, I'm going to talk about what's going on with some of these newer fintech companies that are getting huge amounts of venture capital poured into them. In fact, just in the last week, over $300 million was poured into them. But not only that, a report came out that said the Asia Pacific region, over 25% of all the business startups in the Asia Pacific region are tied to blockchain. Now, if that doesn't say globally bullish, then I don't know what does. So regardless of what the price of Bitcoin or any other cryptos are actually trading at, there's a lot of people that say, you know what, it doesn't matter in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The price, the value, and the opportunities are only going to skyrocket. So according to Blockworks, who laid out some of this, where this $300 million recently went into, some of these projects sound interesting. In fact, over half of it, $150 million of that dollars, went into one project. That being a project called Aptos Labs. Now, if you haven't heard of that, don't be alarmed. But this one's really interesting because it was founded by former employees of Meta/Facebook. Now, these former employees were the ones that used to work on Deaton, which was Facebook/Meta's attempt at a cryptocurrency that essentially was a failure and never got off the ground because of regulation and a lot of other things. But nonetheless, these are the employees that are founding this blockchain company. Just received $150 million. So that might be something to look out for. Now, the thing that they were doing is trying to make payments, blockchain payments, faster and cheaper. Well, I already know of a coin that does that. It's 3 letters are XRP. So not only them, but a project called Hogan received $90 million. And basically what they're doing is they're launching multiple blockchain security automation products. These are specifically for guys that are working on the Web3 build-outs and the Web3 projects. Sounds pretty interesting. They're also planning on hiring over 100 new employees in the next 12 months. So you talk about all the layoffs from all these exchanges that's going on. Well, guess what? There's a lot of other fintech and blockchain companies that are doing the hiring. Also, there is a decentralized exchange known as Hashflow. Just received another $25 million last week. And they're going to be looking to basically bring on new market makers, increase liquidity, things like that. So a decentralized exchange, just one of several that I've read that are going online very shortly. So things are looking still very bullish in the cryptocurrency space, regardless of what the price of Bitcoin or anything else is trading for. So just keep that in mind. All right, before I talk about the crypto project, the token that is run on the XRP ledger being listed on a huge exchange, I wanted to talk about this Coinbase, this essentially Coinbase. Well, it's really a fiasco at this point, but there's some big questions that need to be answered specifically from Coinbase. Now, in one of my previous videos, I talked about how Coinbase's chief legal director came back firing back at the SEC because the SEC were accusing their former employees of insider trading and securities fraud, because they said the tokens that they were actually trading with are what they call digital asset securities. Coinbase fired back and said, no, these are absolutely not securities. In fact, you can review the same information that the Department of Justice had. The Department of Justice did not bring securities fraud accusations to these insider traders because they didn't feel like they were securities. So the SEC is on one hand doing that, and then Coinbase fired back and said, listen, not only are these not securities, we're not going to delist them. However, back when the SEC dropped this lawsuit case on Ripple on December 24th, 2020, Coinbase delisted XRP very soon after. In fact, citing that because the SEC is going after Ripple, because of the perception that XRP could be a security and they're going to have to fight it out in court. Well, Coinbase didn't have any such response. They basically just delisted XRP and said, well, because of the SEC thing, we're just going to delist it. But this time around, I don't know if they just learned their lesson or if there's some sort of deeper pushback against XRP. But this time around, when something was called a security on their platform, they said, nope, it's not, and we're not delisting it. So for whatever reason, Coinbase is digging in its heels against the SEC this time around. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are they being unfair to XRP? Should they just go ahead and relist XRP, being that it still hasn't been declared a security? And by all means, if you've been following the case, it's likely not going to be declared a security. All right, so let's get to some bullish news on the XRP ledger. The first token to be listed on a Tier 1 exchange globally is Sologenic. Yes, back in the winter, I covered this token extensively. In fact, if you were an XRP holder back during the winter, you've got airdrops of Solo tokens. And if you're a holder of Solo tokens, you got airdrops of Corium tokens, which is another new Tier 1 Layer 1 blockchain that's going to be launching very soon. So nonetheless, they actually got approval to get listed on Huobi Global, which is a huge exchange. It's actually a very old exchange. It originated in China. Right now, they're actually located in the Seychelles, probably because of the cryptocurrency ban that China still has going on. But nonetheless, they have offices in the United States, Japan, and several other countries around the world. Huobi Global has a huge amount of volume, millions upon millions of active users. And Sologenic is going to be listed there. So if you still hold your Sologenic tokens because of getting that airdrop, or maybe you just purchase them on its decentralized exchange, well, now you might want to pay attention to the price tag a little bit more because Huobi Global is a huge, huge exchange. I don't know if it'll have the same effect as, say, something like Coinbase will, but nonetheless, this is still major news. Before Solo tokens were really only accessible via a decentralized exchange, several decentralized exchanges, including its own decentralized exchange. But now it's going to something like Huobi Global, puts it on the map a little bit more. So, more bullish news for the XRP ledger and the tokens contained on it. Alright guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.